I'm sorry, but if you consent to having sex, you are consenting to having a baby. If you don't want a baby, don't have.
Oh my god, this is like the most valid argument anyone can ever make. I mean, it is literally like common sense, But I want to add some details to this video. So, for example, if you never, ever, ever want to drown, don't just not go to the ocean and things like that. Never have a shower. If you have a shower, there is a chance of drowning. So you will never drown. You will always make sure you are 100% safe.
Okay, now, so my take and my approach to this video may be a little controversial, but who cares? This is what we do here at TYT. We say it like it is. Um, I guarantee you that that woman likes sex a whole lot more than she's acting and letting on. I know that not just from personal experience, but the fact that we all know that human beings are sexual creatures. We all like sex. We truly enjoy intimacy with one another, whether we're heterosexual, whether we're homosexual, whether we're transgender people, it doesn't matter. We all are drawn to the physical touch and embodiment and embrace of other human beings. It's actually one of the best parts about being alive, being able to have sex with other people. It's so fantastic. So again, the whole notion and the message that, well, if you don't want to have a baby, then don't have sex. Well, you must really live a boring life, and your dating life must be pretty dull. Either that or you're completely full of you know what, and you're just lying, which is probably more so the case. So let's stop with the whole BS pretending like men or women don't really, really love to bump and grind and get it on, because we know good and damn well that we all do.
Also, if you never want to die of a car crash, never get in a car or in another taxi or in a bus or anything like this, okay? Don't even go outside. You don't need to go outside. No, that way you never crash and die in a car.
And then let's just talk about pragmatism and practicality. With whatever it is, whether it be your stance on abortion, if you're as far right wing as this lady's pretending to be with this, or anything. When you're actually faced with consequences in reality, you probably change your mind, because we're all built on self-preservation to some degree. That's how we survive as creatures. That's how all life survives. Self-preservation above everything else. So, if you're a woman or a man and you get pregnant, or you get a mistress pregnant, or you're just not ready for that situation, how many times have we seen the same people who publicly denounce access to abortion get abortion after abortion on the low? Or some man who says that women shouldn't have access to this, but all the women he cheating on his wife with, he stay with them getting abortions because this affects him. It impacts him differently. Or the same women who might say that, on the low, they done got 5, 6, 7 abortions. They the ones that been extreme with it. And that's why they have the message to say that, women just use this as abortion. As birth control. No, it's a little more complicated than that. But perhaps that's what you did, and that's why you're so adamant against it.
Also, if you have like asthma, like breathing difficulties, just, stop breathing, you will never ever take in the core, like bacteria and the asthma if you have asthma problem, because you will just stop breathing, and you will live longer, It's just simple things like this, like common sense,
And again, as we've talked about, now that Roe v. Wade reversal is reality, for example, the stories of the 10-year-old rape victim from Ohio having to go to a different state, and now the doctor who performed the procedure looking at being prosecuted. We're going to continue to see these types of things time after time after time, because it's no longer an idea. And we see what the Republican and right-wing response has been. It's been to either just reject and deny, but once that doesn't work, what else do they have to say? You simply can't argue these things in any type of way that's going to make sense to the general public. And that's why the authoritarianism is going to continue to increase. Because if the general public more and more and more is just not on board with the policies and the positions that you're pushing forward, well then, how are you going to keep winning? You got to put the boot down. So, like I always say, let's make sure that we fight harder.